everyone and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis and today I want to show you how to make Switzerland's finest macaroni cheese. Now you might be wondering why Switzerland's finest. Well, my grandmother used to take my brother and I on holiday to Switzerland every year for probably about 6 years when we were children. So I probably went from about the age of 6 to about the age of 12 or 13. We used to go and visit my aunt and uncle and cousins out there. They live out there and I have really fond memories of these holidays. I used to love going to Switzerland for my summer holiday. And one year, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but we'd run out of milk. So we told my aunt and uncle that we'd run out of milk, and instead of conversing with each other, my aunt and uncle actually went out and bought 2 lots of milk. So we ended up with double the amount of milk that we actually needed. And my nan, not being one for waste, decided to make macaroni cheese. She was a good cook, my nan, but she was a very basic cook and she only knew a few recipes. And this was one of those that she knew how to make with milk. So she decided to make macaroni cheese for like a week. So every dinner time we would ask my nan what's for dinner and she would always say macaroni cheese. So it became like a bit of a running joke in our family. So I had to put this recipe in my cookbook, Gifts from Grandpa, which is available to buy on Amazon, and I will link it in the description box below. There are 56 family recipes in here. It is a dedication to my dad, and most of the recipes are my father's, but there are a few from me, a couple of my nans and one of my grandfathers as well. So yes, I thought I'd show you how to make Switzerland's finest macaroni cheese. So Ted, Howard and I are going to be having this for lunch. So I've actually halved the ingredients that are needed in this recipe. So for this recipe you are going to need 50 grams of butter, but I've got about 30 because, as I said, I'm only making it for Ted, Howard and I. You're also going to need about 600 mils of milk, and that can be a milk of your choice as well. I've actually got oat milk here because I don't do too well on dairy. I am having cheese today, but I'm okay if I have it occasionally, but if I have too much of it, it's not good for me. So yes, this is oat milk, but you can use any type of milk you like. And then I've also got 50 grams of brown rice flour, or you could use corn flour as well. And then you're also going to need 1 onion sliced and diced, so I've done that there. And then you're going to need about 4 rashers of bacon as well. I've got thick bacon here and I've got unsmoked, but you can use smoked if you like that better. And yeah, so you need bacon, and then you're also going to need about 200 grams of cheese. So what I've done is I've put about 100 grams in here and about 25 grams here. So I'm going to put this on the top of the macaroni cheese, and then this is going to go in the sauce. And then you'll also need about 2 teaspoons of mustard seeds as well. That's just to give it a bit of spice and zing it up a bit. And then I'm going to serve this with some grilled tomatoes as well. So I'm going to put some olive oil on this and I'm going to put them under the grill. That always makes the stickiness of the macaroni cheese it doesn't make it so sticky if you serve it with some vegetables, I find. And I'm also going to put some boiled green beans into my macaroni cheese as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop my tomatoes under the grill. So I've washed these, I've drizzled them with olive oil, and then I've added a little bit of salt, and I've tossed all of these ingredients together, and I'm just going to put these under the grill for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. So while my tomatoes are cooking under the grill, what I'm going to do is put a frying pan on a very high heat on the hob, as I'm doing now, and I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to the base of that pan. I can hear my tomatoes under the grill even sizzling away nicely there. So now I'm going to spread the oil with a plastic brush across the base of the pan as evenly as possible. And that's that done. And then I'm just going to leave this pan to heat up now. So the pan is getting nice and hot now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my onions to the base of that pan. I'm just going to fry these for a few minutes until they become soft. So my onions have started to soften now, so I'm going to add in the bacon to this pan. And I'm going to fry this off until it becomes, till the fat starts to go brown around the outside. That's when you know bacon is done. When it starts to get that caramelised golden brown colour, that's when the bacon is done. So I'm just going to continue to fry this now. So the bacon has started to go a lovely golden brown colour now, and the bacon is also becoming quite crisp as well. I've actually fried it for a few more minutes than it says in the book, in my cookbook, simply because I like the bacon a bit crispy in my macaroni cheese, but I'm not sure if other people were when I wrote the book. But if you want to fry the bacon for a bit longer and make it a bit crispier, then you can. It does make it, gives it a lot of flavour, the macaroni cheese. So the tomatoes have actually been in the oven for about 10 minutes now, and they've actually cooked quite quickly under the grill. So I'm going to remove these and set these aside now. So now I'm just going to melt the butter down. The pan is slightly too hot at the moment, so I'm just lifting it off a little bit. So I'm going to melt the butter down, and once the butter's melted, I'm going to add the flour to this as well. So the butter is melted nicely now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the flour. So I'm just trying to move it off the heat a little bit so it's not too hot, so it doesn't burn. And you just add the flour bit by bit, and you make kind of a paste with it. It has to be a smooth paste as well. So, yeah, that's lovely. That's making a beautiful paste. So I'm just going to make a paste with that now. And then once that's done, I'm going to add in a little bit of the milk. And now to make a good white sauce, you just add a little bit of milk at a time. The pan is slightly too hot, I have to admit. So just keep adding a little bit at a time, and hopefully it will be okay. It's starting to cool down now, the pan, so I can hopefully get that paste all mixed in with the milk. Yep. Keep going, missus. Oh. That's lovely. Just a little bit at a time. So that's the white sauce done. I've added all of the milk now and everything has smoothed itself out, I'm pleased to say. Don't panic if your pan is too hot, just turn it down and remove the pan from the heat. And then I'm just going to turn the heat off completely now, and I'm going to add in my cheese. So when I make this for 4 people, I would make it with 200 grams of cheese, and I would probably leave about 50 grams off. But I'm making it for like 2 and a little one today. So I've done about 125 grams of cheese. So I am putting 100 grams of cheese into this now, and leaving about 25 grams for the top. But you can do it however you want, but that is just my suggestion. So, and I'm just going to stir this round now until all of the cheese melts in here. So the cheese has melted nicely in this pan now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in the mustard seeds to the pan, just to give it that extra bit of spice. And I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the pan as well. And I've got a little bit of salt here. 2. I'm going to stir these round again. And then I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to boil my pasta as per the packet instructions and my green beans as well. So I've cooked my pasta and I've put it in this dish, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the bacon to the white sauce. Smells yummy as well. And then I'm going to mix these around now until everything's well mixed in. And then I'm going to add the cheese sauce, I should say, cheese and bacon sauce to the pasta now. Add the sauce to the pasta, I think it is. No, it should be the other way around, but never mind, I've done it now. So, just going to add that in. And I'm going to stir these together. And finally, I'm going to put this under the grill for about 5 minutes. I'm going to spread the cheese over the top. Just going to sprinkle this all over. That's it. And now I'm going to put this under the grill for about 5 to 10 minutes just to let the cheese go golden brown. So as you can see, this is done now because the cheese on the top has actually started to melt, and the bacon that's floating around on the top as well has started to go crispy, and I love it when it goes crispy. So I'm really looking forward to this for my dinner today. So that's how you make Switzerland's finest macaroni cheese, and as I mentioned earlier, I'll be serving this with those tomatoes that I grilled earlier, and this recipe, as I also mentioned earlier, is in my new cookbook Gifts from Grandpa, which I will link in the description box below for you, and I'll also link the recipe in the description box below too. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to leave any comments below, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon. Bye.